Okay, so we left off with a hard question and then we needed to take a break, and hopefully now that you guys have food, you can think better. So the question was, we get paid directly proportional to the value that we add to the company. What does that mean?
The harder you work, the more income you get.
Yep, whatever you put into it is what you get out of it. What else?
Honestly, probably the more you do to like spread the mission too. It's more than just promoting the products. It's like teaching people what the company stands for on a bigger level.
The value.
Of like, vision and mission.
Bingo. Yes. It's how many people can you help be successful in this company as well. And really just spreading the vision of hope, which I think is in our new mission statement, because we do have so much to offer people as far as hope goes. There's a stat that so many marriages or foreclosures could be prevented by just an extra $500 a month for a family.
So true.
And that most people go to bed worrying about their finances even more than their health.
So true.
And so here we're not just offering a pink drink and to feel better. That's like a gateway into everything else that we have here to offer. And just think about if you could be as confident and as excited about the products as you are the business opportunity, what that would look like as far as how many people you impact, how it impacts your business, your points, your paycheck. The people helping people business.
Can you say the statistic for the foreclosure, the $500
Yep.
a month?
So $500 a month could save a lot of marriages out there or prevent foreclosures. Just $500 a month extra. And that most people go to bed worrying about their finances even more than their health. So when was the last time for those of you who are working a full-time job that you were recognized at your work? Or given a gift?
I got a piece of paper when I hit 15 years. It said congratulations on 15 years.
It's
a pay raise count?
Pay raise?
I'll give you a plaque if you don't remember it. So just
Coffee mug maybe?
that's
I
really
got a
Yeah.
gift card.
really interesting that you say that because I'm the one giving the gifts. And then if
Yeah.
you don't give a gift, you're
So
saying
then
it's
you
not
don't
like
get recognized as much. So here with Plexus, I think you guys can see how much we get recognized. I mean, the weekly emails that come out that recognize people, the way that our team leaders recognize people each month, just the gifts we get, the prizes that we have available to us. I mean, remarkable. So many of you guys earned that last month. I got a MacBook before, an iPad. I mean, jewelry. There's just, what else?
You woke up from a nap, $1,000
Yeah.
Oh my god, that was so
I totally
awesome.
forgot about
I remember
that.
that. I was going to get
Was
my
that last
Christmas
year?
tree. Yeah.
It was like a year ago.
It was last December because I was on my way to get my Christmas tree and all of a sudden I was like, Abby, wake up!
What happened? They were doing like a holiday
Christmas giveaway thing.
Yeah, Christmas
They
giveaway.
gave away $1,000.
They drew my name and I was napping.
And then she was happy and I'm like trying to like call
She like
her
woke
and
up and
like,
like her phone
like
was
blowing
just full
up,
of
and I'm like,
messages.
I
We're like, you won $1,000.
Yes.
Yeah.
I never win anything like in my
That was the post
life.
I commented on this year that I thought was this year. I'm like, you just
Oh,
won $1,000.
yeah.
Like, that was last year.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that was like a random thing that they did and
It was during a no, it wasn't during a training because you would have been on it.
No,
I
it was
forget
just so
what it
random.
was, but
No,
yeah.
but did you have to like have a join to qualify? Like
Yeah, you had to have
like
to,
in
yeah.
that week,
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
month, and like there was a rhyme or reason.
yeah, and
why-
they
how
said they were
did
gonna be
it,
drawing
but-
it that day and Abby decided to take it out.
I wasn't expecting to win.
I know, it was just funny because Connor's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I gotta get a hold of her, she just won!
Yeah, that was amazing. Our community here, sets us apart here with this network marketing business for sure, this company. It's all about women lifting up other women, right? And I've been hearing a lot lately from people who are newer to this or are exploring the option and just like, I'm looking for positive community. Like I'm looking for a community where women are actually supportive of each other and not backstabbing each other, where there's drama. And there's enough of that in normal everyday life. And so to have the community that we do is so unique and so rare. And I think, at least for you like it, that the community was really like the missing puzzle piece, and that's what really brought you guys into this. and what it made it different from other experiences you've had in the past.
Well, and I think we need to realize, like, we are so grateful to be and blessed to be a part of this community, like, of
This
our team, this
particular
team.
team.
Yes, because I know other teams. My aunt does Plexus, but she's on a team in Minnesota, and it is not like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they do not have that culture. Like, that is not
Yeah.
the
This is
norm.
special.
Yeah.
It definitely
So,
is. And if you guys have not gotten to know the community yet, you need to.
yeah.
So you need to jump on calls with us so you can
about.
experience it. It's one thing to watch a recording, but to actually be live, be in the chat, it's such a different experience.
Especially because as soon as the recording ends, that's when a lot of the good stuff,
Yeah.
like the good conversations happen. For real, that's when you really get to like know the team. I
Yeah,
feel
and
like.
their
Right.
personalities.
Yeah.
And,
Mhm.
Well, and then
Yep.
moving from the 2D to the 3D, like seeing everybody on Zoom versus meeting in person.
Yes.
It's
Well,
like-
convention, you all need to be at
Convention, yeah.
convention
Yes.
this year.
Mhm.
Yep, for sure. If you're
So
serious about your business,
Like I miss everybody.
it's gonna be really important to
Yeah.
be there. Yeah. Incentives, trips. Raise your hand if you've ever been on a Plexus trip or earned a Plexus trip. Congrats. So just name off where you guys have been or which trip it was. Just anybody.
South Carolina last year, and then leaders retreat with you in March.
2 leaders retreats, one on the 30A, and then this year, and then Charleston for convention.
and Ruby.
And Ruby retreat in Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh, I forget that
How
one.
could
That
you
was,
forget
that was like
that?
the best
That
one.
happens this
Yeah.
year, because there's major fires in Gatlinburg right now.
Well, I'm going.
I'm going anyway.
Fire or not?
I'm going.
Fire and I'm flying.
You going drive again?
Yeah, so Florida, my first convention was in Vegas, so that was interesting. That was when I was terrified to fly. For those of you who don't know, like, when Christina said, when I started, she's like, we have this contest, we can earn this trip. I'm like, no, I don't want the contest, I don't travel, I don't fly. That's what I literally said, and I didn't earn it, and I didn't work towards it. And, but then I have ever since that. But then when we found out it was in Vegas, I literally went to my Google and I put how long to drive to Vegas. 24 hours, you guys. I'm like, that's not gonna work. So I said, I'm like, okay. Christina said on our Zoom, she said, if you're serious about your business, you will be there. And that convicted me. I'm like, I have to be there. So I booked a flight, and then for the next 3 to 4 months, every day I was scared. Every day I was like, it's one step closer. Like, can I do this? And I did. And then ever since then, like, now I almost love flying.
You're like a world trip.
Like,
Oh my
it's
God, I love
crazy
flying.
how much my mindset has shifted over the last few years. Like, I have overcoming that fear.
Maybe it's because you associate it now with a positive thing.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and I also figured out how planes work, so that helped me too.
It's like a huge thing.
I'm like, I just don't get how it
effort.
stays in the air. Like, I need to learn how it functions.
Oh,
So,
that's so cool. Well, and I just also think too, like, that's the closest, like, because when we flew to Florida this last time, we were flying over storms, and it's so cool because there's sun up, and then you look down and it's all dark. Like, it's
is
just.
that cool though?
For
For you.
I was
Not
almost
me.
born on an airplane.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm not sitting back here.
I know.
I'm terrified.
Section. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
Hey,
That
I'm taking it. I'm saving your life. Well, life saver.
I think it was
Make
the
sure you
only
have your vest
That
on,
was
your
the only
mask on.
You'll be fine. If I can do it, you can absolutely. I'm just scared to
Yeah, I didn't-
that's what bothers me.
I didn't tell her.
It's going through clouds.
We're in the middle.
You're going
It's
through clouds.
beautiful.
That's
It's
why
very
you have
beautiful.
She'll tell you
exactly
I can give you
what
some
that
tips, Emily, later. Ed gave me all the
Yes, I
tips
can write a
when I
whole
learned how to
book.
fly his plane.
Yeah, and you can just duck your head and dive. It'll be fine.
Okay, we're video recording, so we need to.
I got cut that part.
Cut it.
say something naughty?
I told her she
No,
could
she's
just
just
duck
saying
her
be
head.
quiet.
All right, so then our comp plan. I actually wrote on here camp plan. It's comp
Yeah,
plan.
we're gonna go camping.
Camping.
Glamping.
Super generous. We're paid 11 ways, 7 levels deep. So I was just thinking about this the other day. Like, I'm paid 7 levels deep, but then that's where my team cuts off. Like, that's all I can see. So I'm sure there's a lot more team underneath, because some people ask me, how many do you have in your team ordering? I'm like, probably about 500 to 600. But you know, like, my larger team is still there, which is cool to think about. So you're actually impacting more people than you actually see in your back office. Everyone is selling something nowadays, whether you know it or not. So if you just went and saw a movie and you go to your friend and say, oh my gosh, this movie was so good, you have to go see it, you're selling it, right? Same thing with these products. We share about what we care about. You get to take a 30-year career and condense it into 3 to 5 here with network marketing. So teachers often teach until retirement, until they can get out, nurses or medical or whoever else out there. But you can decide to do something really hard and work hard at something for 3 to 5 years, and then have an extra 25 to 27 extra years of your life to do stuff with, which is mind-boggling. Or in my sister's case, she went diamond in 2 years. So, I mean, you can go as fast or as slow as you want. Some people go in 1.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. I think that was Celeste Gwynn. She went diamond in 1 year.
Yeah, Emily Gibson developed the emerald in 60 days.
Oh my gosh. And she just made 5-star diamond. In March.
I don't know what that is.
Will you get the yacht?
Stacey's like, I'm not gonna yacht. Now they have a yacht program.
Are you
Yep.
serious?
You don't get a yacht. You
Fallon
get to
has
take
a
a yacht trip.
This was like,
Yep.
Fallon has a yacht.
Gets to go on, but that's still
All right, that'll be my husband's
That means she
fishing
has
boat.
5
5-star diamond.
diamonds under.
Get a yacht.
Statistics show that 90% of people who do IPA every day, what's IPA?
Income producing
Income
activities.
Income producing activities. So connecting with people, sending out messages, following up, personal growth. If you do that every day, let's say 6 days a week, you'll make it to the top of a company in 10 years. Here with Plexus, it's usually in half. So you can make it to the top in 5 years. So that's how cool it is here at Plexus.
What was the number, the statistic?
If you do show up and do your work, IPA every day, I'll say 6 days a week, 90% of people who do that will make it to the top of their company in 10 years. Here, that statistic is cut in half with Plexus, it's about 5 years. Okay, so how can you build your belief in network marketing so that you can go cast that vision to others? What are some resources or tools you could use? Diamond documentaries, you can find that list on the
Michelle's
Plexus YouTube channel.
Michelle's video, her network.
The Y Network Marketing,
Yeah, Y.
Michelle Stuchel, yeah, that's a great one.
April has one.
April has
Why
another one.
Alexis, and that's a good one too.
Yep,
Books. Millionaire by Halftime, GoPro. There's a bunch of network marketing
GoPro,
books.
Millionaire by Halftime, yep. I'm having a few girls on my team read those right now. They're in the medical field and just have a big a lot of people in the medical field have a big stigma with network marketing, and so that's their biggest feat right now is building belief in network marketing so that they can go help others have that same belief.
Makes sense.
So yeah, Millionaire by Halftime, GoPro. I'm trying to think what else ones are out there. I'll have to
I think just like
go back.
Power of 5.
Yep,
Yeah.
John Maxwell, Power of
The
5.
magic of thinking big.
The one with Power of 5 is really cool because that was actually inspired by some diamonds on our team. They went to John Maxwell and said, hey, we really need a network marketing book from you.
Yeah.
And he went and wrote that. Mhm.
That's cool.
Yep. So the fact that he supports network marketing
Yeah.
is pretty sweet.
Well, and I think just connecting with people, like if you see like, okay, Brooke Hemingway, she was a nurse, things like that, like go and then see her video on why, because like then you'll have a better understanding, or like if you have a teacher, or there's another Laura Robinson too, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, she was a nurse, an ER nurse, and her, even though I wasn't a nurse, like I'm not a nurse, but her documentary was just like that working woman. I
Yeah.
remember when you sent that to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
What's her name?
Laura Robinson.
She's a nurse.
Yeah,
the name of the
an
book?
no,
No,
it's just a
it's the
documentary. But I'm just saying, like,
documentary, okay.
connecting with somebody like that person, because she went diamond working full time as a nurse, an ER nurse. So I think it's just like that stuff is powerful because you see so many people.
That's
like,
almost you're going to the next category. You're going to believe in yourself. So we're talking specifically about the model of network marketing
got it,
and how
okay.
to grow that. Because some people
Yeah.
you guys know people in your life who are like, that's sleazy, that's slimy, like
Yeah.
it's, you know, one person at the top gets all of it. So sometimes it's just helping people understand the model and how that is actually in society as well.
Oh, it's
Right?
every company.
Even in school systems,
Every
medical
company
field,
runs
it's
on
always
top of
the
it.
same model. Yeah.
Basically, I started telling, like, here's the difference between the structure of my company and the structure of your job. You can't pass the person in front of you unless they retire or die or leave.
Yeah.
So if you come into this, we work together and you wanna work harder and go faster, amen, go ahead, you know, like, it's a totally different.
Yeah, if anybody wants to pass me up, let's go. Bring it.
Goodness. All right.
I'm ready.
Fire.
Okay,
I think a good
any other
competition.
questions about belief in network marketing? Okay, so in the last area, you need to have rock solid belief. The first one was it products? Second is network marketing. The third one is belief in yourself. So first thing is you guys have to know that you have what it takes. Do you believe it? You should believe it because of where I've come from and just how, you know, total introvert, would not even get on the phone with people in the beginning, like, it was so scary. I like shake on the phone and like I knew I had to do it, so I did it. But, you know, just have overcome so many fears and obstacles along the way and just was not a likely person to do this. I had tried network marketing before with Mary Kay a little bit. Didn't like it, wasn't successful. You know, I was working as a teacher, I taught piano lessons, I had little kids, like I had all the reasons to be too busy. Yet I saw the vision and the potential here, and that once I saw that, like you could not stop me. So I don't necessarily struggle with belief in myself. Like I've always believed if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. But Brittany Howard on our team has always struggled with belief in herself. That has always been her biggest downfall. And you guys will probably find along your journey, we'll all have, what is that called?
Thorn in your side?
Yes. Thank you. Thorn, we'll all have our own thorn in the side, right? Some might just always struggle with belief in yourself. Others might struggle with confidence or just self-discipline, you know, all different things. And so if it's belief in yourself, just know it's something you have to continually feed yourself daily. But Brittany has to do that all the time. She has to constantly build her belief in herself that she can do this. And that's what Fallon did for her, was continue to pour belief. You can do this. You are doing this. You can do this. So you might have to be that person for somebody else on your team. Oftentimes we have to believe in them for them before they can believe in themselves. Mindset. A lot of you are working through mindset right now, which is amazing. Your thoughts about yourself will determine your belief, and your beliefs will determine your actions, and your actions determine your results. Yes. So it all starts with your thought. You can never outperform the quality of your thinking. So if you have negative thinking, or you think in the back of your mind it always is, I can't do this, I can never do that, but you go work as hard as you can never just keep working if you do not change your thoughts. You have to believe that you can do it in order to actually go and do it. So what are you telling yourself each day? Sometimes you just have to literally stop and think, what am I thinking about myself right now? Because 80% of this business is mindset. 80% is what's going to be going on between your ears. 20% is skill set. Most of you probably already have the skill set down, but it's the mindset that keeps coming back that you have to keep working on and battling.
Can you repeat the first thing you said about mindset?
Yes. Is it that your thoughts will determine your belief?
Yes,
That one?
yes.
Your thoughts will determine your belief, and your beliefs will determine your actions. Your actions will determine your results. Good old thought model.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was listening to a podcast.
I'll
this
do one
morning.
with you soon, I'm sure. Just did a couple with Katie this week.
Facts will determine beliefs.
But there was, she was talking, Joyce Myers, and she was talking about if you are thinking something negative or you're going through something like a hard circumstance, you're never gonna overcome it if you don't like speak positive. So like if you're going through something but you're like, you say I can do this even though you don't fully believe it yet, you're gonna be have a more lighter, more positive about it, because your thoughts, what you say is always gonna be more powerful than like what you're feeling.
Yeah, do not go based off your feelings, you guys.
Yeah.
Right? If
yeah.
we didn't feel like parenting our kids, then we would never show up. If we didn't feel like we were feeling our marriage right now, you know,
Yeah.
it's like you cannot go off your feelings.
No. But when you say it, like I can do this, or I am gonna throw out that message, or I am a business owner, or any, I am a leader, any of those positive things, you saying it is gonna be way more powerful. Like your feelings then don't have life.
I'm really liking the I get to. I've been doing that with myself a lot. I get to go to school today. I get to
Instead of
impact
have
these
to.
kids. I get to, like, it's such a
I
huge.
get to sit down and do my IPA, right?
Yeah, that too.
No, but you saying that though
Right.
is giving it the life
No, I have
versus
done that idea too. I get to send this message right now and connect with this person.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I got 2 verses here. Who wants to look one up for me? It's Philippians 4:8 and then Romans 12:2. You can just Google it, or if anybody has a Bible app. Philippians 4:8 and Romans 12:2. Let's figure out what God has to say about our thought life.
Romans what?
12:2.
Philippians.
Philippians 4:8.
It's like not loading in here.
Oh.
have Romans.
Come on.
You have Romans?
It's gonna help. I have Philippians.
Okay.
4:8.
Go ahead.
Finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think about such things.
Right. So if you think about the thoughts you normally think about, does it go by those standards? Yes or no? If not, then it's going to be beneficial to change it. Who had the other one? Romans 12:2.
Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what God's will is, his good, pleasing, and perfect will.
Be renewed. Renew your mind. Like you have to daily renew your mind, right? Because I don't know what the stat is, but I think it's 80% again. Like 80% of our thoughts are negative
Oh yeah.
each day that just bombard us, but we don't have to accept those, right? We can decide, is this thought serving me? Is this thought truth? Is this thought going to move me forward? If not, then we have to switch to some other thought that is based off of truth. I could talk about mindset all day.
Can I share something
Yeah.
that's helped in the last, okay, so I am not a verse memorizer at all. But in the last probably 2 weeks, I have opened literally 8 different windows on my phone with different theme verse collections. And whenever I am struggling, I just go in there and just talk through them. And it has helped me so much.
You also have a sticky note on your mirror,
I
right?
do
With a
have
Bible
a-
verse, so when
yeah.
you're brushing your teeth,
Yeah.
you're reading it.
I do.
Love it.
So just trying to build up that mindset.
So it's like a cue and a habit, right? Like a habit you normally do
Yeah.
every day, you brush your teeth. So
Right,
then
and
you
every time I open
partner
this, I see
a new
those.
habit with it.
Yeah.
Love
He's
it.
so smart.
2 in 1. Yep.
2 in 1.
Yeah.
So ultimately, you guys have the power to change your thoughts, right? You can either be a victim or a victor. Victim mindset, victor. So what are your thoughts when you sit down to do your IPA? Or what should they be?
I get to help people.
I was gonna say, I'm
I get
gonna
to help
someone.
people. I get to help someone. Or I get to make money for Reds.
That's what I'm
That's me.
thinking. I'm thinking, ooh, one
Oh,
more.
I'm not enough.
Yeah.
Put that in my.
One more message to get me closer to retirement. But yeah,
It's both and for me, but
true.
the yellow definitely is not my main driving factor at this point.
Did it just get brighter in here?
It did.
Okay, yeah.
Shining light on mindset.
I a lot of times think about, we talk a lot about our why. So I like to do my IPA in my reclining chair in my kitchen, or in my dining room, not my kitchen. Living room, yes, I have a recliner in my kitchen. In my living room, because I can see out into my front yard and my backyard, and it just reminds me of why I'm doing it, because I want to expand on that someday. And I want my chickens.
Me too.
I want my chickens in my backyard.
I keep telling my husband that, he's like, you're crazy.
I already have the shed picked out, so I'm working
You
towards
can't have
that.
chickens in a city.
Oh, yeah, I can.
I'm sure you can have a couple.
Some, yeah,
You can actually, literally, the house kitty corner has chickens.
Madison, you probably
You can have a
can.
couple.
I'm not right in Madison, no, I'm on the outskirts.
Oh, I was gonna say in Madison, you probably can.
Oh, Pamela does.
Yeah, that's true, but she's kind of also on the outskirts, I mean, she's not directly downtown.
Yes.
Just saying. Yeah, that's true. Forgot she had chickens.
I do not want chickens.
Most people, when they start at Mindset, are not naturals. You fail forward, and you all start somewhere, and it's about practicing over perfection, right? I mean, every day is literally a new day to reset your mind, renew your mind, and so you're gonna want to plug into something. What are some ideas from the audience? Pulling the audience of things you can plug into that can help you with mindset. Podcasts, which kind?
I love Joyce Meyer's. There's also one. It's called Who Dis? New Mindset.
Who dis?
And he's a younger guy, but I mean, a lot of things. It's just so relatable to my life right now. So, and they're short and sweet. So that's what I do on my way to work every morning.
Love it.
I have a morning affirmations book that I shared with you,
Mm-hmm.
but I do it at night usually, and then I share it usually with some friends that I know are struggling a bit, and so that we get to talk about it, and it's been a really good connection point too.
And you're adding value to them. Way to go. It's all about adding value. Love
I
it.
like Emily Gibson's. I just
Oh, yes.
connected with her, whoever recommended that, thank you. Like the 5-day mindset.
The training thing, yes. Yeah.
Did you sign up for it after the fact?
I did.
Oh.
And you still got in.
I got all the links, but I don't know, I hope they have. I'm hoping maybe they magically are still working when I go back in.
If you sign up for her monthly thing,
Yep.
you will have access to the.
Yep, or, and actually, I just heard her on her thing today, she said, so you can still go and sign up, it's just still $19.
Right.
So you can still go
Oh,
back.
so you do have
So what is it
access
called?
after.
Retrain your brain or
It's
something?
called Train Your Brain.
Train Your Brain.
And it talks about the thought
Even
model.
just the first day.
So it's just not
I heard it's phenomenal.
It is.
It is
Yes.
phenomenal.
For free, yep.
It is-
$20 to invest in your mindset, that
Totally
can
worth
be
the
a
$20.
huge benefit for your business.
Yeah.
Just
And then
hearing
if
other
you-
people, like you said.
And then,
the
yeah,
coach,
so like the first portion of it, she breaks down the thought model and then like talks about it. And then the second portion, she actually like live coaches people. And even if you're not physically being coached yourself, listening to other people and knowing that there are people out there at the same point in their business, at the same point in their life that are going through the exact same things. It's like, I was like yelling at my phone. I was like, this is the answer. Like, this is your thought. And just how she breaks down like your actual circumstance has to be able to be proved in a court of law to actually be a circumstance versus a thought. And there's a lot of things that we think in our life are our circumstances, but they're not. They're actually what we're thinking about it.
Well, and then there's even when like, the lady is like sort of asking a plexus question, but it goes back to like her narcissistic ex-husband. And like,
Yeah.
they get
Yeah.
to that. And but like that is really then like the root of everything, then it's like rippling out into her business, into her life.
A lot of times it goes back to your youth and how you're
Yep.
raised, maybe how your parents thought, and you get those same thoughts, but they're not necessarily healthy.
Where do you find
What
this?
is this on? Yes.
If
Emily
you go,
Gibson Coaching.
yeah, I follow her on Instagram, but she on her website, she has
Gibson
Yeah.
for Gibson.
Yeah, and
She's a diamond in Plexus.
And if you.
She's the one who has a yacht.
Yeah, well, or gets you on the yacht trip
Gets
or
her on the
whatever.
yacht.
But then you can also get the $19 applied, like if you're gonna then join her
Yeah,
like
she's a
monthly subscription, then they'll just credit your $19 back, so then you just pay the difference for the next month.
And she does have a podcast.
Yep,
A
it's
free
called
podcast.
Beyond the Rank.
Yeah, that's
Where
what
she
she
does
does.
a
And I listen
weekly-
to those at the gym. They're longer, but she basically takes a volunteer or someone from her team and says, "What can I help you with?"
Yeah.
She
and then
has that
starts
one.
spelling out some things about their business, and she basically coaches them from through the thought model all the way from, okay, you're not getting results because this is your thought. Let's go rework that.
She has that one, but she also has another podcast
Yep.
spun off of that.
Correct.
Called Beyond the Rank as well. She said it's a little weird, but she liked the name of it, so she didn't change it. Where those are every Tuesday morning, she does a
Yeah.
weekly recording.
And they're like 19, 20
Yeah, they're
minutes.
really
The one
short.
that I
Yeah.
shared this morning is one of those.
Yeah.
Nice.
So she actually has 2 different podcasts.
And that she doesn't do coaching, it's just
No,
her.
it's just her talking.
Yeah.
Right, so if you guys can drill into mindset this month and really believe I can do this, I am worthy, I'm capable of my big dreams and goals, there's no reason you guys shouldn't be blowing it up this month.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times that's when I hear from you guys, it's the lack in your own belief. And it's really hard for me to understand because I haven't struggled with that. But I'm like, I'm trying to understand where you guys are coming from. I'm sure there's times. I'm sure you come to April sometimes.
There's
Like,
2 books too that I would suggest. Get Over Your Dang Self.
DAMN.
Yep, Get Over Your Dang Self, and then Get Out of Your Head.
Yes.
Get Out of Your Head, Jenny Allen, is really good. It goes back to 3. So you are worthy, you are loved, you are. I always forget the third one.
We just read it.
I don't know.
I have it on Audible and I love listening to her, because then you can just go to whatever chapter you want.
Yep.
And listen to it.
So I hope
And,
that helps you guys.
yeah, The Mindset Mentor is another good podcast, but listen to it without kids, because he likes to use the F word. But it's how you
Every once in a
perceive-
while, though, like all of a sudden he'll just drop it in. You won't.
Right, because but it's how you perceive the F word. It's not that bad of a word, but you put that emotion to it. That's what he says.
And then this last thought here, which I thought was really interesting, you will reap the rewards or pay the consequences of the life you have lived the 5 years leading up to when you started your business. So if you have always been a person that adds a ton of value to people, or you've invested in personal growth in the past, then when you get into this business, you probably can be pretty successful. But if you're someone who by default doesn't add value to people, you're gonna naturally subtract from people. Maybe growth hasn't been your thing. Like I never knew anything about personal growth till I got into Plexus. I didn't even know who I was, honestly, until I got into Plexus. So I think sometimes that can be a little bumpy in the beginning of your business. So I think of like Tammy, like when she came in, she flew because she has always been someone that loves people and invests in people, and she's a yellow and a blue. So that was very natural for her. And so when Tammy and Jackie came in, I'm like, tell me all your yellow things. Like I do not think that way. So
We're like, tell us all the red things.
I know.
I was like, give me more.
So
red.
definitely like know yourself and your colors, and then as you guys are looking for other leaders on your team, like really lean into them, and you guys can support each other and help each other through the different things that different colors and personalities struggle with or think about. Okay, so that's the end of that section. Let's go on to,
You said I was yellow. I have a little bit of everything.
okay, so that was the foundation. The second F for our fuel, what is it? I always forget the words. Foundation, fuel, fruition. The next one's fuel. So we're going to the next section here. It's getting hot in here again.
So you're just steaming it up.
Sweating up
I
here.
got a bigger.
Okay, so the fuel for your business is your why. Your why or your vision. That is the fuel of your business. So this famous question, if your calendar was empty, you had nothing going on, and your bank account is full or overflowing with funds, what would your life look like? Jackie, would you like to come up and
Step right up.
Rearranging pages.
Step right up.
I will never have
over
to
there,
do
you
this
have real
again.
focus in your notebook.
Yeah.
Do you want to
Literally,
come
I
up and
can
share with
take
us your vision a little bit? To inspire us?
Okay.
She even brought her vision board. You want me to hold it?
Did
for
you really?
Yes, I said I ripped it off the wall. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of background of where our family has come from through all of this, God has really been planting seeds for entrepreneurialism forever. Like as I'm looking back, I'm like, oh, we took this and this and this and this. We've also had every imaginable financial crisis that we could have. We've had a bankruptcy, a foreclosure. We've just had our house flooded. I mean, just these really big, major things around money. So when I came into this, I'm like, I don't know what my vision is. I have no idea. I don't even know if I deserve to have a vision, really. And then I started putting it together just a piece at a time. I'm like, okay, like I know with my yellow is always my natural inclination is to reach out to others first. So like my missions, have been a huge part of what is driving this for me. I have connections with Compassion International, with our Pakistan. I have a couple of churches over there that I'm connected to the pastors. So that's like the big vision. And then I started breaking it down. I'm like, okay, what does this mean and look like for our family? And we've always wanted like more land, more space. That's my husband's dream. He doesn't want to be in the city. I am like a travel guru, so like I love it. I love all things travel, and just being able to, our dream right now is to take our kids back to the spot in France where we got engaged. So that's like the trip that's on the vision board. It is an expensive trip, and like it has taken me a long time to give myself permission to want that, if that makes any sense. Like, well, why should I have that? Why do I deserve to have that? So, and I think the other thing is just being able to have, like, I really talked about like the fitness and being able to live a lifestyle on my terms that gives me that time freedom to go and be able to do the pieces and the things that are important. Like, I want to be healthy, I want to exercise, and we're always like trying to jam it in, right? Like, oh, I've got 20 minutes on the treadmill right now in between grading papers. So just to be like, to be able to wake up and go, I can spend an hour exercising right now before I, have to go on to the next
Because
thing.
what do you do currently for a career? I don't know if everybody knows that.
I teach, so I'm a Montessori teacher, 4th through 6th graders. So
your
it's-
hubby does.
he is also a virtual school teacher. He teaches 4th grade. He and Tammy work on a similar team. So we are busy. It's like go, go, go. I'm finishing my graduate degree right now. I have 6 weeks left. Yeah, amen. The presentation is scheduled. So we are knocking that out of the park on May 17th. I think the other thing for my family is just being able to say yes to my kids. Like, it doesn't have to be huge things, but like, Mom, I want to pick up an extra dance. And I don't go, oh gosh, an extra dance, right? Or we want to go, I put the kayaks just because we love little adventures like that. And those things are expensive, like when you're on vacation and trying to pay for that for an entire family. So I am growing into my vision. That's what we're gonna say. I'm growing into it because right before Leaders Retreat, actually, my husband and I were talking, and we have a very unique situation because we're both super entrepreneurial. So we're kind of going like this a little bit right now. He's building a different company, which is interesting. But we were talking, and he's just like, so I really think that God just wants us to be grateful for what we have now. But it's okay to want more as long as you're keeping him in the front and like honoring him first and asking him what he wants for you. So that was like another just, I don't know, he's given me brilliant light bulb moments in the last month and a half. So
Well, thank you for
That's it.
sharing.
Love it.
So you guys can all have your own dream for your life and what you want it to look like. And I recommend you do also some sort of vision or visual. There we go. I have my dream board right in front of me. So when I sit down to work, bam, right there every single day. And it's like, okay, this is what I'm working for. So when you have days where you have the emotions, right? Tired, stressed, I can't do this, comparison, whatever it is, it's like, no, just let me focus in on, it's like blinders, on a horse. So like, focusing on this is my story, my path, this is what I'm working towards. And guys, sometimes we just have to be able to let go of what other people think of us. Like, they don't pay your bills. Other people do not pay your bills. So you don't want to get to the end of your life and be like, well, I was worried about what this person said about me and what this person felt. At the end of the day, we're accountable for our own life and our own family. So
If you're red, you want to prove them wrong and say, boom! Not that I want to do that.
So be proactive with designing your life. Do it right now. Don't wait another year. Don't wait another 6 months. Don't wait till I feel creative or actually believe I can do it. Like, let yourself dream. Oh, and actually, I wanted to share with you guys my vision. All these little notes that you guys were all coming to the restaurant, and I'm like, finishing all my notes. Okay, number 1, go back to this one. I totally rearranged the whole thing too.
See, just think next month you'll be so organized.
Yes, I'm excited because my desk, I cannot find it right now. There's a desk somewhere.
Can't find my house.
Holding up the other.
It's holding up. Yeah.
Don't ask me where wipes are.
So I don't know if I've shared with you guys my dream and vision for my team maybe ever or in a while. But I think I just really desire for you guys to have total time and financial freedom like I have. You guys know my story, how I was a teacher. My husband did a physical labor job. He was 17 years, I was 9 years. You know, started having kids, thought I would retire as a teacher. He would do his, he came out of high school, that's what he did. Same thing, all his life. And then started having kids, realized I really don't want to be with the students at school anymore. I want to be with my own kids. And so I resigned, was able to resign. I think it was maybe a year after my husband lost his job suddenly. And he didn't have to go back to work. Like there was no find work, we can't make ends meet. Like everything that I was bringing in at that point covered every single expense for our family. And so he didn't have to go back to work. And so then we just started kind of dreaming like what would our life actually look like. And so now we're homeschooling this year. Did a post on that yesterday. These past few months we second guessed it a whole lot. A lot of days where Brian's like, they're going back to school. I'm like, let's just but it's I think it's a winter month, you know?
It is.
But yeah, it's just the freedom we have now to be able to go take little day trips, or like last spring we were just like, yeah, let's go to Virginia to see April and Adam, my sister and her husband and family. So like just the ability to get up and go when we want, and to have our kids, you know, do their things, and to be able to save for the future, not have to stress. Like I think the least stress you can experience in life, the better. And so I really desire for you guys too. And maybe you don't want to leave your job. Maybe you don't want to be home with your kids. That's okay. Like each of you has your own dreams, and that's what I really want you to see is your dreams come to life too. And I want leaders, and I want jewels, and I want diamonds, like all of the leaders on my team. And I want us to be able to leave a legacy, like a legacy for our children, and something that will impact thousands of people or more would be amazing. And I also want us to be able to show our kids that we can do something hard. You know, we can do something hard and be proud of it and create something that's amazing. And then I just really desire for us to become our best selves and like really step into our purpose and to use our God-given gifts, and to really, I really desire this, for you guys to love who you were made to be. Like that's what it comes down to, is loving who you were made to be and really stepping into that. And then of course the fun, the blue for you fun people, is being in Hawaii together, like all of us in Hawaii, riding horses and
With
toes
our
in the
coconut
sand,
drinks.
running up the volcanoes.
Oh my gosh.
Like that's what I want. And then
so
just to live
exciting.
life with no regrets and to be known for something. Like that's my desire for all of you. I'm surprised I got through that without crying, because I was writing this and I'm like, this is not gonna end well. But yes, that's really my heart for you guys. So back to the other part. So you guys have to come up with your own why and your own vision for your future team and your life. So, and then also, how could you impact your communities? If you're making 10 grand, 20 grand, 30 grand a month, how could you use that money to impact other people in your life? Whether it's, you know, compassion, or is it an orphanage or school over there?
All of the above.
Okay.
Orphanage, school,
Mhm.
yeah.
Like what is near and dear to your heart? Like is there a certain association or, you know, charity that's you guys could just give freely? And then just give your dreams time to grow. It's kind of like a farmer, right? The farmer goes and plants the itty bitty seeds, and if he doesn't see growth in a week, he doesn't freak out, right? He knows the process of it. If he's gonna plant the seed and he's gonna water it, and the sun is gonna come and it's gonna take time, and then it starts growing a little bit, and then he knows it's just gonna take time and it's gonna grow and it's gonna blossom. And so it's just the process and the season of it. And you just have to be willing to learn and work and put in the practice. And then just be careful, you guys, to not compare. yourself to others. That can be a really big pitfall, right? You gotta keep your blinders on and realize that you have what it takes. You have certain gifts and talents that only you have. And just because someone over here's journey is going super fast does not mean you're doing it wrong. It's just different. And honestly, if someone's going fast, it's because of the work they did 2, 3, 6, 9 months before. Nothing ever just boop, it doesn't ever happen like that. It's what they've done in the past. Same thing with a farmer. It's what he did 3, 6, 9 months before, and then all of a sudden you see the corn growing like crazy in July. It's because of what he did before that. So if you guys start today, then imagine what can happen in 1, 2, 3, 6, 9 months out. And then it's not easy, but you guys, I can tell you, it is so worth it. So that is the end of the fuel section for your business. Anybody have anything else to say about your why or creating one?
And I think just with the whole comparison thing, it's so free to know that there's enough room. It's like you need to think that. Like, and my gosh, before Plexus, and so I've had to work really hard at it, but I compared to everything. I started going into that this morning. I'm like, what do I wear? What is Abby wearing? What is Emily wearing? What should I wear? What season is this? Like, I'm like going through my closet. I'm like, it doesn't matter what I'm like, stop it, But but besides that, like in this business, like it doesn't matter. It's not like a contest of who can get it faster, who can get whatever. Like everybody can get it. Like we can all get it at the same time.
There's enough success for everybody to go around.
To go
That's
around.
something I had to learn from the start, because I did fall into comparison mode and jealousy in the beginning. I did, because I saw other people going faster and I was going pretty steady. But I remember that was one phrase that I have thought ever since, is there's enough success at the top for, there's enough room at the top for everybody, or there's enough success to go around for every single person. So when you can think of that, rather than it's limited or I have to hurry up and get there, no.
And it will be perfect timing when it's supposed to be, which can be so hard in that moment, like so hard, but when that moment comes, it's gonna be like what it was meant to be.
And you'll be ready. It's what you're learning in the meantime.
Even though you don't realize it.
Yep.
But
Right, when you look back, all the pieces, it's like 20/20. Yeah. Hindsight is 20/20, right? Don't they always say that?
Right, we got 10 minutes to whip through this last section, so here we go. And it's the action, so we're gonna go fast. So the last fruit of your business, it's the fruit of your business is the last one, the fruit. Or is it fruition?
Fruition.
I put fruit.
It's something.
Is it the same thing? I don't know. Okay, so the fruition of your business is action. You can think and dream all day, but unless you actually go send a message or plan an event, you will not move forward. So you have to get into action. So learn the skills. We have 4 pillars in this business. Who knows what the first one is?
Recruiting.
What is it?
Recruiting.
Recruiting. Second one.
Retention.
Sorry.
Duplication.
Leadership.
And leadership. Recruiting, retention, duplication, leadership. If you can master those 4 skills, you will be a very successful leader in this business, in this industry. So recruiting is basically helping other people get started like someone else helped you, right? It's a plus sign. Some of you did +6 last month, some +1, some +8. It's our first skill. You can go and learn this by watching trainings. We've got so many units. If you go to the guides button on our PFT, Plexus Freedom Team page, and you can find the section that says recruiting, and go and watch and immerse yourself in it and take notes and then go practice too. Don't just consume. Watch and then go apply. Watch and then go apply. Work with your sponsor. Send screenshots to your sponsor. Like send a whole thread of screenshots. And they will come back and give you feedback on those things. And then you'll learn, okay, I'm gonna change this next time. And I did this well. And then you will become confident over time. So use your sponsor. So that's the first pillar, recruiting, adding people to your team. None of the other pillars happen unless you recruit people. You can't retain people. You can't duplicate with them. You can't lead them unless you have people. So you guys all have to start at bringing people to this team. Second one is retention, so that's giving them great customer care. We have a whole retention system on our team, 10-touch retention. They'll tell you exactly what to say, when to send it, so plug yourself into that so you can help get your people best results. Watch trainings again, We've got our perks report. You guys should be in that every single day. You go to you sign in, go to my business here in the left column, click it, go to perks report. It'll bring up the report, and I always go to, what is that middle button?
I always go to the days to
Yes,
forfeit.
days to forfeit, forfeiture, and then if there's anybody in your report, maybe they turned off their subscription or they have less than 100 PV, it'll show someone, and it'll say how many days they have left till they will lose their perks points, and there will be a perks points there in the middle. So it might say 350, which would be $35. It might say 1,000, which would be $100. So basically you take off a zero there. So that will help you get in and help your people and figure out, oh, maybe they had extra products, maybe they're not liking something, maybe they have a financial issue. So we're gonna be problem solvers with that. Third pillar is duplication. So that is like a multiplication sign. Recruiting is a plus sign. Duplication is multiply. This is where it gets fun, you guys. But you have to recruit before you can get to multiply. So this can actually happen at the same time as you're recruiting, because you can be dropping little seeds in your messages. You can also be showing on your Facebook posts or stories what this opportunity is doing for you or what you like about it. So a lot of times when April and I have our welcome calls, people are already aware of what we do, because it's something where we're always bringing in our feed what this opportunity has done for us, and so they're aware of that opportunity. Welcome calls, you should all be asking the question at the end. What is it?
If you're loving your products, will you be sharing them?
If you love your products, will you share them with others in your life? Do not end a call without that question, because that's a seed planted, and you'll be able to figure out, oh, they actually are open, let's go share. Or they'll give an objection, and then we can work through that objection. And then people usually say no at first, very normal, but don't give up on them. And typically 8 to 12 times to get people on the products. Same thing with getting them on into sharing in the opportunity. It's just, will you be willing to follow up past the first time, the second seed, the third seed, because that's typically where it happens.
Can I say something really quick?
Yeah.
I've had 3 people in the last week or 2 message me and say, hey, I'm not ignoring your messages. I see them. Life is busy, but thank you so much for following up with me and not giving up. And soon the time will be right.
That's
They've
awesome.
flat out said that. So
Yeah.
So true. Yeah, people see it.
How do you handle it when you get the other way, where someone's like, I've seen your messages, stop messaging me, you know, kind of that way. Like, how do you know, I mean, obviously you stop messaging them and, you know, respect what they want, but, you know, at some point, like, how do you handle it that way?
Who has a suggestion for
If
that?
they say no, or it's like not the right time, if they say it's not the right time, then I'm like, okay, great, not the right time. But if it's just a straight up no, then I'm like, hey, thanks. If you know anybody,
And I've done the referral message
yeah, the
and stuff for
referral
some of that,
messages
but
that I go to.
So I think one thing to keep in mind is that happens way less than that happens. So just changing your thought on it, it's really hard to do that. I've gotten those messages before, and you have to be aware of your thoughts. Do a thought model. Ask your sponsor to do a thought model with you, to just go through that and just know that the majority of people are going to thank you for following up. I'm the same way as Emily. I've had so many people that are like, thank you for not giving up on me. Like, now that I finally started, like, I'm so glad you kept asking. So it really comes down to the way you're thinking about it.
or when they just don't respond at all.
Well,
You know,
Yeah.
like when you feel like, now I've sent my 4th, 5th, you know, whatever message, you know,
If
like.
there, no response does not mean no.
correct.
Uh-huh.
Right.
And I've
And
heard
what
that,
I-
but it's hard because like
Oh,
if
yeah,
I were to
it's like where
call
you are.
somebody, you know, if I called a friend 5 times and they didn't answer.
I'd be calling 911.
Well, like, but you know what I mean? Like I don't know. Just at a certain point, you're kind of like, I guess this person doesn't want to talk to me. You know, it's kind of
I
like, how do you get
follow
out
up
of
with
that
some people 20
mindset?
times
Yep.
each. It's just
So-
you have to be willing
Yeah.
to.
So what
go through the
I've found
process.
is they're not ready to say yes, but they also don't want to say no yet. So they're just
They
not
don't-
going to
yeah.
say anything.
And that's the sole way to
They don't
choose.
want to close the door,
Yep.
but they also like aren't quite ready to jump in, and so they just don't
Well,
respond.
that's where a numbers thing comes in, right?
Mhm.
Usually 1 in 10 will respond.
Yep.
So I think you have to think about that too. Like if I send out 50 there's gonna be a good chance that I get back a positive response. But if I'm only sending 3 and I'm, having people ignoring me and not responding, that's typical because it's only 3, right? So it comes back to numbers.
Well,
And
it's
I would say,
interesting
like-
because those same people are watching my stories.
Yeah.
Like the ones who have not responded to a single thing. I think I have a girl right
Watching it.
now with 9. Even personals, she's not responded to a thing, but she's on my stories almost every day.
Yeah.
Saying
That's
her
what I
name.
Just
mean.
with your friends page, like if it's somebody that you are close with and that you know, like I want my cousin to do this business with me and she is 100% no, she loves the products but she does not want to do anything with the business. And in that case, like I just have to keep planting seeds. Like I have to keep saying, this is, I paid off my car because of Plexus, or like, just
Right.
just
Even like the product end of
letting her
it, like
see.
a lot of the people that I've had that are like, we'll say acquaintances. Like they're people if I ran into in Walmart, I'm gonna say hi to, but they're not like close friends or close family or something like that. They're like people I know, but I'm not like hanging out with, on the weekends type of thing. But those are the ones where I'm kind of like, okay, at a certain point, do I leave them alone or do I
You just
keep?
maybe
like-
push them out. I had somebody join
Because then
my
my
team.
head is like, okay, like, and this is obviously my own thing, but if I run into that person, say at Walmart the next time, and they're like, I don't want to even look at her because she just keeps sending me these
I just
messages
say,
that I don't
hey.
want.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's my fear is like
That
that
happens.
part of it.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna move on because I want to keep this positive and we can kind of address that later. And there's a recording here, so let's just wrap this up because we're almost out of time. The last pillar here is leadership is influence. So leadership. So basically, you have the ability to be a leader. All it is influence. You just influencing somebody else, hopefully for the better. Yes, for the better. So how can you add value to other people in your life? That's really all it takes to be as a leader. Is just going out and encouraging somebody, sending them a video that reminded you of them, helping them with their recruiting skills, whatever it is. Like we all have the ability to be a leader. It's where you decide to go and do it. And then teach your people simple systems that will help them reach their goals. That's another job as a leader. Inspire your people before calling them into action. This is something I had to learn early. I'm like, why are they not going and doing it? Christina's like, you haven't inspired them. I'm like, oh. So inspire them. Why is it even worth it for them to get out of their comfort zone? And we're learning that it's not just small vision. It's not, let's get you silver. Let's get you $200. No, we're painting the big picture. How can this change their life? And then it's easier to get them on the track of, okay, here's the stepping stones up to diamonds. How can this change your life? Okay, we're headed this way. Okay, silver's first. Following the process. Versus 1 minute. Okay, versus like, let's get you silver. Okay, now I'm gonna try to show you actually what this could do for you, right? So it's casting the big vision first. People need a why, absolutely need a why. You have to work with your people on their why. You need to have your own why. Or otherwise people will just, what's the word? Fizzle out because it's just not strong enough. They're coming up against obstacles they're not willing to go on. Don't drag people. And then you are not responsible for someone else's success at the end of the day. Some people will do it, some not. Some are your people, some are not. Don't drag people. And don't say, well, I just wasn't a good enough leader because someone else decides not to go and do the steps that you shared with them. And then always lead from the front. Just whatever you're asking your people to do, you do it yourself.
One thing with Tarl, Tarl said this.
Sorry, we're moving on.
Okay.
No, at
And
the end.
Tarl needs to say
So the
this.
most important thing is consistency, you guys. You gotta work this business like a business and it will pay you like a business. So if you wanna have a paycheck like a brain surgeon, you gotta work your butt off. Consistency compounds over time. Little wins, every single day will add up. And then it applies to anything in your life. Health, right? If you eat healthy, one day it's not gonna make you lose 10 pounds. It's every day and it leads to changes. Same thing with parenting. If you wanna have kids that are well behaved, you don't just discipline them one day. It's consistent work. So you guys can work this part-time. You do not have to do it like I do every day, all day, because I love it. It can be part-time, but you just can't work sometimes. Part-time is an hour a day, 20 minutes a day, every day. Sometimes it's, I'll do an hour, next week I'll do 20 minutes, right? So it's consistent, but at the pace you wanna go. And then you guys don't need more time. We all have the same 24 hours. It's what you are actually doing with your time and being intentional with your time. So that's it. I want you guys to flip over your paper quick, or if you need another piece of paper, and reflect quick. So which of the three do you need to work on the most of belief? Is it belief in the products, belief in the opportunity, or belief in yourself? So pick which one you need to work on the most for those three. And then also, which pillar do you need to work on the most? Is it recruiting people, retaining them, or retention? Is it duplication going on your team, or is it leadership? So pick one of the three and then one of the four. And then when you go home today, I want you to share that with your sponsor. Send them a message, say, hey, this is what I learned, this is what I'm gonna be working on here for this month. And then sponsor, I want you to hold them to it and follow up with them and help them with it. So that's your, and then it's your homework. So if you're saying today, yeah, I really need belief in myself and to go and recruit, well then that's gonna be your homework for this week. To go dive in and do it, because I know that you guys can. It's just if you will. So let's stop the recording.